You can now bet on elections, on interest rate decisions, on whether a celebrity gets arrested, on whether some famous person says a specific word.
Zero. Now, Mr. Trump is very
on Chinese goods.
That's wrong. They were wrong. It's the New York Times. They're always wrong.
Well,
They were wrong.
From the same phone that you use to Venmo your rent. And somehow we're all supposed to pretend this is financial innovation. Well, today we're talking about the quiet gambling epidemic that no one's really admitting. I saw a video by CoffeeZilla on this, and that blew my mind. I wanted to talk on it too, with how social media, finance apps, and everything have turned investing and your money into dopamine hits, quick dopamine hits. It's the cleanest looking casino in human history. First, let's get this straight. I'm not anti-investing. I'm also not anti-trading. I guess maybe just day trading I would be, but I am anti-pretending that betting on real-world outcomes with an app designed like a video game is the same thing as building long-term wealth or getting rich. Basically, it's like a get-rich-quick scheme on your phone. Now, the reason why it's so crazy now is because 10 years ago, the lines were clear. The lines between you had investing, stocks, index funds, retirement accounts, etc. You had gambling, casinos, sports betting, poker, and you had speculation, risky trades, but still inside the stock market sometimes. But today, all three of those live inside the same screen on the same app, just under different tabs, or maybe even the same, with the same animations, the same sounds, the same little dopamine hits. You can buy Tesla options on Robinhood, for example, where you can also bet on geopolitical events that you could also do on Polymarket. And you can bet on economic outcomes on Cowsheet. All this before your coffee gets cold and you're just staring at your phone, just here in one place. But what changed isn't just the access. What also changed is the design psychology behind it all. Now, I mentioned little dopamine hits because that's exactly what's going on. See, every one of these platforms is built around the same core principle, the short feedback loops. Like you act on something, you get instant feedback, and then you feel something. Like you feel something. But the colors, the notifications, the confetti that throws around on your screen, and the "you're up $14" pops up. But your brain doesn't register this as finance. Your brain registers this with as like a mobile game, but now you have money attached. So the goal for all this is not education. The goal is not long-term thinking. The goal for all these apps is engagement, like social media apps, because engagement is what makes platforms money, not whether or not you build wealth or actually make anything off of it. This feels way different from the old school gambling. And the reasons why is because like casinos back then, at least they made you drive somewhere, walk in, physically hand over your cash, and you watch it leave your hands, and it feels sad. All that friction mattered because it kind of acted as a roadblock if you couldn't really risk losing that. But now you gamble with invisible money, with fractional shares, with delayed settlement on margin and buying power. So it doesn't feel like gambling. It just feels like, pressing buttons like you do on Clash of Clans or Clash Royale. And not sponsored by them, and that's why this era is more dangerous than Vegas ever was. See, you're not betting on chips that are textured with felt. You're betting your rent money with like haptic feedback of, yeah, you threw away your rent money. This is so bad now because social media made gambling look like a career. This is where things really went off the rails. Social media didn't just normalize gambling, it kind of rebranded it as it's like a skill now. Like if you make good trades, if you make good bets, you're like seen as like the god of trading. We have day trader TikTok, options Twitter, crypto YouTube, prediction market Discords. Like everyone only posts the wins on this, the lucky strikes, the 300% returns. But nobody posts the 17 continuous losing trades before that one 300% win, or the margin calls, the emotional crashes, the quiet account resets. People don't post that, but it's there. So the viewer doesn't learn probability. They just see the survivorship bias of all these people posting their enormous gains that they're making, and they're seen as like some PhD level gambler. It silently teaches everybody that if they just keep trying long enough, they'll eventually be the ones to make it out too. Now, to get onto the actual platforms that all the players are leading onto is Polymarket, and Kalshi that really revolutionized all this, where you could bet on election outcomes, interest rates, economic data, regulatory decisions, global events, and even things with like if the Coinbase CEO said Bitcoin so many times, you'd see a return. So when Coinbase is doing their earnings call, the CEO looks up that list and he says all of them, and then they all pay out. Like, is that like insider trading? Is it? It is, but it isn't, because no one's going to do anything about it. And I try to find an argument for where prediction markets can be useful, but it's just so hard for me to rationalize where could this be useful. But let's be honest, most users are not participating for public good or price discovery, anything like that. They're participating because it moves quick. If they get rich, they'll get rich overnight. It moves fast, it looks intelligent, and it still lights up the dopamine circuits in their brains. But it feels smarter than sports betting does, which makes it even more psychologically dangerous because people feel like they're above. You have a different complex whenever you're doing it whenever you're betting on Kalshi than if you go out and you make a bet on the street, right? You just feel more like a finance bro. And another huge player platform in all this is Robinhood. But surprisingly, Robinhood didn't invent the risky trading. They just removed commissions to start out, which that made it so easy for everyone to get involved. And they took away the friction that there was between buying investments and everything. But more importantly, they took away the psychological pain, at least numbed it. Because once trades stopped feeling painful, people started trading more. They risked more. And the respect for their hard-earned money just dwindled down over time. You see, the app does not care if you buy long-term index funds or same-day expiration options. It's the same for the app. It doesn't matter. Both produce swipes, both produce notifications, engagement, and yes, revenue for the platform, not for you and me that use it. So the house doesn't care how you lose or if you win. It's just that you keep on playing. Now, the real damage that doesn't get talked about in all this is that this system does not just lose people money. It rewires how they feel about money. After enough trades that you make, $100 stops feeling real. Then $1,000, then $10,000. You become emotionally numb to cash. And once that happens, everything else in your financial life suffers. You know, saving feels boring because if you just threw it into this one call option, index funds feel slow because if you just bet on the game tonight that you know what's going to happen. Your brain has been trained for volatility now, not stability, because of the seed that was sowed with social media, quick dopamine hits, and all these finance applications taking a page out of that book and putting it into theirs with investing and trading. So let's de-influence ourselves right now. I'm about to de-influence you. Most users lose, and I'm talking about like 90-95%. A small group of elite traders break even or profit over the course of time, but the platforms will always win. They'll win from the order flow, from the fees, from the spreads on the orders, the data, and just the sheer volume of people that are signing up. They don't need you to be profitable, they just need you to be active. Activity, notifications, like what's it called? The attention economy is the product, and you're just like the battery, you're the factory, you know? And they profit from all that. So de-influencing section is over. If you feel like you've seen anything so far of value in this video, that maybe that de-influencing section helped out, you should definitely hit that subscribe button and like button on this video, because I have a lot more content like this if you enjoy this at all. But with that being said, we're gonna jump right back in. So how do you escape the dopamine economy without becoming their financial monkey play toy? Well, 3 rules separate investing from entertainment. Like, yes, it feels fun, it's exciting, it's even addictive, but do not call it wealth building. Do not call it making money if you're gonna be betting on a game or on some talk or something on Kalshi, Polymarket, you name it. Make your long-term investing painfully boring. Boring is a feature of the long-term investing. It's not a flaw. It's part of it. Now, number 3, if you do speculate, treat it like a strict budgeted game. It's not identity. It's not career. It's not the plan. If everything goes sideways, don't do that. Just cap it at it's a side activity. And if you happen to make anything off of it, great. But don't ever bet your life on that. We didn't suddenly become reckless as a society. We just built a financial system that feels gamified, like a big old video game, and then wondered why people online started playing it like one. If you've ever felt that pull, the urge to trade, bet, flip, predict, just know your brain is not weak, and you could just say, you know what, I'm just not gonna do that. And then boom, you just won't do it. So if this is useful, hit like, subscribe, let me know in the comments what you thought about, and stay away from all the gambling, stay away from all the trading on pollen market Kalshi. Just don't even dabble into it. Instead, invest it into an index fund, S&P 500, like VOOSPY. And also reach out and learn about Jesus Christ that saved us one day 2,000 years ago. Bye watch these.